What's up, everybody? Apologies for the chest hair. It's almost midnight here in Austin, Texas. But I wanted to get a video out before I went to bed because I haven't done a video update in a while. Actually, back since right after CapCon. I don't know, I told the story. I crashed really hard after the capitalism conference, and here's why. I felt like the capitalism conference was so purposeful and so meaningful and so wonderful and so nourishing and so communal. And then after the conference, I was back in my office working away, and after a couple days of that, it felt like how I imagined the man on the moon felt, the men who walked on the moon felt when they came back down to Earth and they had to go grocery shopping and pick up ground beef on the way home. And they were like, I was just on the moon. That's how it felt like me post CapCon. It felt like I saw my purpose very, very clear of bringing entrepreneurs and world changers together. And then it came back to Earth, and I just totally crashed. And I also gave up coffee at the exact same time, which I gave up coffee for 2 weeks. That was really, really bad timing. Anyway, I am really big on this idea right now of what I'm doing is setting my house in perfect order. And what that means to me is dialing in the individual little systems that I've been ignoring for a long time. So for me in 2018, a lot of that was physical health and mental health, and getting around getting a grip on the ideas of burnout and the feelings of overwhelm and all the stuff that we deal with in our heads as entrepreneurs. I had never really dealt with any of that because I've totally been guilty of following methodologies, following paths of entrepreneurship that are supposed to make you successful rather than make you happy. And every single one of us is in this game because we want a better life, not because we necessarily want to be working 18 hours a day, but because we want to be playing 18 hours a day. And for some of us, the businesses we built or the businesses we started are playing. And then there's people like me and like most people who, like I sent an email out today and I responded to hundreds of emails that I got in reply to this email that I sent where I admitted I'm totally guilty of this thing of you start something because you love it, and then something changes and you start going for the result, you start going for the status, you start going for the money, and it stops being about the game, it stops being about what was exciting, it starts being about the results and defending it. And it's that idea of what Gary Vee says of being on defense instead of being on offense. You go into not building the thing that amplifies the life you want, but building the thing that pursues the result that you want. And somebody replied, this was a very keen insight. Somebody replied to my email about this, and they quoted Sam Harris, who says, everything that we do is really so that we can enjoy a later present moment. It's an attempt to enjoy the present, but later. Aren't we interesting as human beings? And it just goes to show what we will do to fulfill our biological needs of having access to resources, having status, being able to reproduce in lieu of our own happiness, right? But we're not wired to be able to do that. Anyway, I have noticed for me that every time I do something that I consider hard or like out of alignment with who I want to be, it sucks. Like I have a new director of marketing here at capitalism.com. His name's Sean. And Sean is, I brought him on because he's a way better copywriter than me. And I won't let anybody write my own emails. But I was writing some sales copy for some things, and I worked on it for days, right? And I think this is amazing. And I sent it to him, and he's like, yeah, I think I need to fire you as the copywriter. And the fact is, like, I was sitting there, like, grinding and thinking and working on it. And, like, emails, I just flow with emails. It's just what's on my heart, what's on my mind, what's coming through me. And I get hundreds of responses, and we sell a lot via our emails. How I connect with my customers. And when I do content from this place, it shows up. But not in this sales copy I was writing. It freaking sucked. So one of the things that I have to do a better job of is getting really, really clear on, what I want out of the business. And that has been the journey of mine recently, of rediscovering what I want in business, what I want to build my life around. And to be honest with you, ever since I was a kid, I just wanted to be on stage. Ever since, when I started capitalism.com, I dreamed of doing economic debates and having political debates and having reality shows like Shark Tank. That's all I ever really wanted to do with my time, was perform. I did a entrepreneurial test once called the Wealth Dynamics test, and it revealed that I was a star first, meaning I should be on stage as much as possible, doing content as much as possible. And number two, I was an investor. I should be advising, I should be investing, I should be placing bets. And I think that's spot on with who I am and who I want to be. So I need to start putting that out there more and doing more PR around like responding to ridiculous economic proposals and giving counter proposals to things like new green deals, and talking about how we can have a new green deal. It's just not going to look like what's been proposed. And I need to talk about politics and economics more, and I need to talk about the things that I want to talk about more and just speak to whoever shows up. I just need to communicate and make decisions from that authentic, honest place rather than what I think will convert or make the result. And it's really scary. It's scary for me. I know it's scary for every entrepreneur I talk to let go of what they know produces the result, because we're more wired for the biological result than we are for the happiness result. And yet the weird thing is when you pursue the thing that makes you happy, the money just kind of shows up. I don't know why that is. I think it's something to do with talent and passion and energy. But it's still hard for me. It's still hard for me to make that shift. So it's something I'm practicing right now with videos like this, where I really feel like I should be teaching something or giving 3 tips or hacks or something in this video, but instead I'm just sharing and writing emails like the one that got hundreds of responses, where I'm just sharing what's going on and what's true and the journey. And my hope is to more document the story of capitalism through something that is called capitalism.com. So that amount of true transparency, I think, is what ultimately creates connection, and connection ultimately creates conversion, and conversion is how you fund whatever it is that you want. So I know a lot of you are building businesses, building products-based business, building lifestyle businesses, and we so often lose sight of why we got into it in the first place. And if I could go back and do it all over again, I would spend a lot more time getting clear on what the result of my life was going to be rather than what the result of the business is going to be. Because if you don't have that, we end up using the business as a distraction instead of the thing that fulfills us. And it's something that we have to re-explore when we don't do that. So if you just build the business to support what it is that you want to amplify from the beginning, all of these things are added unto you as well. Wishing you happiness, love, and success. Thanks for watching.